Enough of that. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Xavier here, and this is another episode of Wiggle Weekly. Today, I will be ranking my top 10 albums of 2020. Don't get your hopes up, I might let you down. 10 on the list is Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. Now, full transparency, I haven't returned to this project all that much since it came out, but every time I return to it, I am just reminded of this album's greatness. You have Freddie Gibbs, per usual, dropping cocaine-laced bars with top-tier delivery and finesse. And then it's complemented by these soulful samples chopped up by Alchemist. With the exception of grittier tracks like Frank Lucas or God is Perfect, you have this strange marriage of these very classy instrumentals met with vivid lyricism about the streets. And if anything, this project just solidifies the fact that Freddie Gibbs is one of the greatest rappers of our generation, and that Alchemist is one of the greatest producers of all time. 9 on the list is Who Made the Sunshine by Westside Gunn. Now, this album has all the things you come to know and love about Westside. You have the grimy tracks produced by the usual suspects, Alchemist, Derringer, Beat Butcher, and then you have these insane features like Slick Rick and Busta Rhymes on the same track. What? Black Thought barring out over a Derringer instrumental, and then you have the Griselda posse cut to close out this project. I gotta acknowledge that this is one of the last albums, I believe, before Westside retires, so I feel like there was a conscious effort in curating the sound for this project as opposed to his other ones that sound a little less polished. Regardless, we may not get another artist like Westside in a long time, and that's only a testament to how unique his brand is, so shouts out to Westside. 8 on the list is Unlocked by Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. This collaboration was birthed from Kenny's web series, The Cave, where he brings in different artists to make a song on the spot. And Curry, I believe, had the season finale, and you could tell right away these two had excellent chemistry. And as redundant as this sounds, this was truly a collaborative effort, with Denzel creating the album art, you have Kenny handling all the production, and even the short film that they were both in. But I'll say the main thing that makes this album special is the blatant homage to Mad Villainy. These two did such a good job of recreating the feeling of that album while still incorporating their own signature sound. 7 on the list is Man Alive by King Cruel. This project has such a good fusion of just jazz and rock ballads, which kind of just put you in a vibe of sitting by a fireplace and lighting a cigar. I also really enjoyed the initial singles that he dropped for this project, such as Alone, Omen 3, Couldn't Stop Listening to That, and then Don't Let the Dragon Drag On. I'll honestly say the most predominant feature about Archie's music is just his voice, man. It's so loud and commanding, and it shines the most on songs like Stoned Again, where he's just belting in anger, but then he gives you songs like Underclass, where his voice is still dark, it has those undertones, but it's also soothing in a way. Obviously, this project does deviate from my usual rap bias, and hopefully in the future I can expand my taste and find more music like King Cruel's. But for now, shout out to Archie. 6 on the list is Synonyms of Strength by Radimus. I am very new to this guy's music. I found out about him this year, but he's honestly one of the more exciting lyricists that I've heard in a while. And every song he has just has this very wholesome energy about him, almost to a point where it's like, it gives off this self-help kind of tone, but not at all in a way where it's condescending or he's on a soapbox, but his music just features subject matter that you can apply to your own life. Track 6, I Am Blessed, I'm Alive, I'm Amazing, just tells you in the title that this song is riddled with lines about self-love and appreciation for what you have. Then you have track 2, Gratitude is Gangsta, where he touches on forgiveness as he forgives the catalyst of gang violence. He just has a very genuine tone about him. He just wants peace for himself and everyone around him, which makes this album very endearing. 5 on the list is No Pressure by Logic. There's nothing too elaborate I can say about this album other than it being the epitome of a great rap album. There's literally no pressure to Logic's delivery as opposed to his later albums where he's dealing with things such as social media and racial identity. On No Pressure, Logic finally achieved solace with the help of settling down, starting a family, and getting a f***ing bag from Twitch. There's also waves of nostalgia when you hear Talia and even the original samples from his Under Pressure project. It's just a nice full circle moment for him and his fans considering this is his last album. 4 on the list is Angelic Hood Rap by Kenny Mason. Shouts out to Hypebeast for putting me onto this guy. Kenny is an Atlanta native that has curated this punk rock fusion trap style sound. I don't know how else to describe it, but obviously he's not the first to incorporate rock and trap music together, but I would say he's the most introspective artist to utilize this aesthetic. There's also a lot of transparency on this project. He's touching on his friends being institutionalized, his grandma's death, even getting shot at some point. It's almost reminiscent of Mad City by Kendrick because he's giving his perspective of being in the hood without glamorizing it. But anyway, I'm just looking forward to seeing where he takes this sound. I know he dropped some singles with Deontay Hitchcock and Denzel Curry, so I don't know, I'm just really excited for this guy, and I advise you check out his music. He's really dope. 3 on the list is Limbo by Amine. Now, what's impressive about Amine is that in only 3 projects, he's managed to prove his longevity in the music industry. Limbo features a very mature, seasoned Amine that juxtaposes who he was on Good For You, obviously, because a lot changes in 3 years. The fact that this guy was a breakout star and still chose to wait 3 years before putting out his next project is just a testament to how much he appreciates his craft. And it was honestly worth the wait because Limbo features a plethora of subject matter that just shows Amine's growth over time. He's talking about his own funeral in the intro, interracial dating in Portland, and even the fear of childbirth on the song Fetus, which features a very powerful line from Groggs from Injury Reserve where he says, "I hope to be half the father that my mama was." That and other instances like the Kobe interlude with comedian Jack Knight referring to Kobe's death as a moment of his childhood being taken away. And you know, obviously there's a lot of bangers and there's other catchy songs on this project, but it's moments like this that just humanize artists like Amine, which makes me appreciate him more because he's relatable. 2 on the list is Nectar by Joji. Now, if you keep up with this channel, you already know that I reviewed this project and, you know, I love the shit out of it. But honestly, my only reference to Joji's music was In Tongues and his Chloe Burbank EP. I just honestly lost interest after his Ballads tape. But now you have Nectar, where he's taking a lot more risk and experimenting with different sounds, which is honestly my favorite aspect about this project. It manages to be diverse sonically, yet cohesive, and it leaves a lot of room for the listener to enjoy this. And it's not even like he's half-assing any of these sounds. I said on my review how Run sounds like a radio hit that Sam Smith would write, and then he excels in the pop realm with Daylight featuring Diplo. And this is a little unrelated, but he can actually produce and rap very well. He actually has his own episode of Rhythm Roulette, a show where artists are asked to make a beat on the spot from a sample they chose. And speaking of beats, the production on this album is insane. If you've been keeping up with my other list videos, you'll know that High Hopes made it on my best produced songs category. But anyway, I can talk about this project for years. Shouts out to Joji. This album was fantastic. Number 1 on the list is The Allegory by Royce da 5'9". Now I gotta preface, as a consumer of rap music, I have to be interested in one of 2 things, which is the beat and or the lyrics. Now we all know Royce can rap. It's like saying the sky is blue at this point. And when news came out that Royce is going to be producing this whole project, I got pretty hype. I didn't know what to expect. I know he produced for M and Crooked before, but it's nothing I was familiar with. So I was going into this album completely blind of Royce's producing talents. Fast forward to me listening to that album, I was blown away. You have Overcomer with Westside Gunn sounding like a vintage Derringer Alchemist style beat, and then the cinematic Dope Man intro that puts you in the realm of a blaxploitation film. Then you have my favorite track, I Play Forever featuring Graph. This song also has production credits with DJ Green Lantern, so shouts out to him. As simple as this instrumental was, I believe it was just a loop of some horns and drums, but it was so dope and it left a lot of room for Royce and Graph to get creative with their flow and delivery, and Royce is just going in God mode, just spazzing at the end. He has that line, I'm an 8 kissing a figure 8 playing Drake at a wedding, dog. I'll play forever, dog. Considering considering how much I love great beats, I just have insurmountable respect for Royce for handling all the production on his end. Besides On the Block, shouts out to DJ Premier. This project is obviously more than good beats. It actually has a deeper meaning. Royce manages to use the allegory by Plato as a metaphor for not taking information at face value, and he also encourages throughout this album for his audience to learn more about Black history, the good and the bad parts of it. So please check this out. You learn a lot, and it slaps. And that will conclude my top 10 albums of 2020. Let me know in the comments, did you hate it? Did you hate it, or did you hate it? My name's Xavier. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this has been another episode of Wiggle Weekly. Peace.